Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Good evening, my friends. This is Angy Stewart from InnerLight, and we are again live in Kardec Radio Thursday night, 9 p.m. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, the ones that will be arriving and we will see us live, and the ones that we will be able to get us later on in the recorded version. Talking about recorded version, let me just turn on our Kardec Radio. Yes, it's so important. Hold on 1 second, please. Yes, very good. Very good. So we are connecting also to Kardec Radio, so our friends from the radio can listen to us. Very good, my friends. So welcome again. Another night that we continue studying, we continue improving ourselves and benefiting from the enlightened energies that will be surrounding us. Today, it's a special day. I would like to invite all of you to stay with us until the end of the program, because unfortunately, a tragedy happened this early morning, around 1:30 in the morning here in Miami. A big building actually collapsed, and 100 people are missing. So we don't know if some of them are alive or not. It is still very, very difficult situation. So we would like to be able to be together close to 10 o'clock. I already told some people we would be doing that. So they will be praying at 10 o'clock with us. So it would be really good if we all get together and we do a heartfelt prayer for all those people that are missing, for the ones that probably discarnated and are still in the process of confusion, waking up in the spiritual realm, but also to all the family members that are going through such a hard time, in that the moments that you don't know if it's a possibility of finding their loved ones or not. So it's very, very difficult to all of them, and we would like to be able to help, even if just a tiny little bit, with our prayers. So let's start. I would like to invite our friends. So hello, Claudinha.
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Very good. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much. So let's bring also Nora. Hello, Nora.
Hey, friends.
Hello, my friend. Nice to have you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the
very, very good to have you both. We are all so busy, but I'm glad we were able to make time to participate and to continue our improvement. This is very, very good. So to the ones that are listening to us, and you probably didn't follow up, we inverted the program for a few weeks. I think this is the second or third week.
Third week.
This is the third week. So we do the gospel first, and then the final 20 minutes we do the book, What is Spiritism? So this is good. We go with the flow. So we all go together, and then we do our final prayer. And as I mentioned, we are going to pray for all these people in need from Surfside in Miami today. So to start, we go with this book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. But just to let you know, we are starting chapter 19 tonight. So if you have the book already, take it. It will be chapter 19 that we will be reading and commenting. But to start, let's really start with a little tiny book that we all know is so popular, Happy Life. So Claudinha, could you read a page for us, please?
Sure. Sure. The message of tonight says constant rebelliousness throws the mind, body, and soul out of balance. It is not the flesh that is weak, it is the spirit that is rebellious. Keep your energy in check. Don't let it throw you off balance. Rebelliousness emits a poison that unsettles everyone nearby. A rebellious person inspires neither friendship nor companion. Keep calm no matter what happens. What is not yet resolved will soon be.
Very, very good. Very good. It reminds me you. You are always easygoing, always
Oh,
calm. It's
not really.
fine.
Not
I
really.
can say that I was this rebellious person, but in the past, nowadays I'm so much more relaxed and it's okay, it's fine. But when I was young, I was already much more like rebellious. But yes, there are those people, they are like this naturally, always. And they're not just rebellious, but angry, angry with anything, angry all the time with whatever situation. And this is not good. And even the doctors, we don't even need to talk about spirituality. The doctors, they tell that people that are constantly angry, they are constantly under pressure and they make their physical body to suffer the consequences. So yes, we need to learn how to control ourselves, and this is really not a characteristic of the body, but of the spirit. So we have to control our spirit. So at least we will be able to retain a little bit that. and and if we don't improve too much in this lifetime, the next life will be easier. But it's part of us, so we have to take the like a wild horse. You have to control the wild horse. Control, control.
It's true.
And then who keep it control, like when you are riding a wild horse, you can never let it go too much. You have to always keep like this, keep like this. I'm talking because my family has horses, so I know how to ride. Very good, very good. So let's start our study, and I would like to ask you, Nora, to do our opening prayer, please.
Sure.
Thank
Let
you.
us close our eyes and maintain our thoughts and our hearts in that vibration. Dear Mother, Father, God, and mentors of this program, thank you so much for this opportunity of gathering this evening, for having the resources, the technology, and most importantly, the willingness to be here. As we are studying tonight, we are asking for protection with our thoughts so that we're able to focus, for discernment, for clarifications, and also for those in the surroundings, those spirits that are also listening, that tonight, as we are studying, we find something, a true, beautiful treasure for our souls. With that, we ask to begin the study, and so be it.
So be
So
it.
be it. Very good, my friends. So, just a reminder is the Gospel according to Spiritism, and we will be studying chapter 19, and the title is The Power of Faith. So, as I always do, I will read a little bit, and then we will comment. And because we are gonna uh, comment only until item 5, so I will read the whole number 1 for us. So
Let's
the
not
power.
forget the water, huh?
Ah, yes, yes. If you don't have it, go running. Grab your bottle of water. Run, Forrest. You can do it. Oh my God, I love that movie, Forrest Gump. It's so inspirational. So inspirational. I have seen it like don't even know how many times, and I love every single time. I love that movie. So let's go. Let's go. The power of faith. Number one, when he came to meet the people, a man approached him, fell to his knees at his feet, and said to him, Lord, have mercy on my son, who is insane and suffers much because he often falls into the fire and often into the water. I presented him to your disciples, but they could not heal him. Jesus answered, saying, O disbelieving and the perverse generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I endure you? Bring the child to me. And when Jesus threatened the demon, we have to understand demon is a dark spirit, it's a negative spirit. It came out of the child, who was healed this at the same instant. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and said to him, Why could we not expel the demon? Jesus answered, Because of your disbelief. For verily I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you would say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it would move. And nothing would be impossible for you. It's in Matthew. So before we always start commenting, there are certain things we have just to understand. So the mustard seed, so to the ones that never saw, is a tiny, tiny little seed. It's very, very tiny seed. So Jesus basically saying, if we had a tiny little faith, we could do so much more than what we do. This is one of the things. And another thing that he says is that if you had this faith, you could tell to a mountain, move from here and there, and the mountain would move. This is a figurative type of language. So we don't want you to think the mountain is really going to, get out of the floor and you start like moving, because that's not what Jesus wanted to say. He wanted to demonstrate the symbolism that gigantic things can happen if we believe in ourselves and we believe capable of doing. So this is the message that he was trying to give to the disciples, because he knew the disciples, they had this capability, but they were not sure of themselves. In that moment, the disciples had already started their process. They were already healing people, but little things, much smaller things, but they were doing. It's not that they never did anything. They were doing. But when this case came, the disciples were afraid. They were like, it's too much. I can't do that. That's what they were thinking. And we know that when we think something, we are leaving that. So when we doubt ourselves, that's already a problem. For example, let's just make a comparison. A horse. I have experience with horses. Today I'm into horses. Horses are very intelligent animals, but they are very sensitive to energy, to vibration. So when someone comes close to them and is a person that vibrates negativity, immediately they start like getting nervous. Immediately they start, so they become unstable because they feel the frequency of the person. But when it's someone that's not afraid of them, or someone that really loves, has a loving energy, they calm down. They behave in a different way. So and this is with everything, when you go close to someone that is a genuinely loving person, you might not even know that person, but you're like, wow, he seems such a good person. I would like to talk to him. You feel it. So, of course, persons are capable of hiding things. Persons are capable of smiling when they inside they are like, and we are not so sensitive all the
All the
time,
time.
because human beings, they have capabilities of hiding the real sentiments. But they say that to animals, it's really inside, they feel your vibration is different. But anyway, so this is important for us to start thinking that the disciples, they only really started doing amazing cures when Jesus appeared to them after his death. Until then, they were still like, ugh, this is very difficult. I can't do that. So after that, when Jesus appeared and everything happened, when they were like, wow, so he really came from the dead. So this is true. That's when they like, wow, so yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can do some things that Jesus did and Jesus said that I could do. So this is just for us to start thinking. Okay. So now the floor is yours. What can we start talking?
I'm gonna say a horse story because you're right.
Oh, that's good. Today's horse day.
I'm sorry for that.
Claudine, be prepared. You need to get one.
No, never again, dear friends. Oh my gosh. But you are right. When we go with that, they sense our fear, and I'm very short. And so in order for me to get on this horse, they put a bucket. So I got on the bucket, and when I was gonna jump over it, it felt that fear, and he let me get on him, but as soon as I did, he threw me off and
Oh
Oh,
my
me
God.
around. Oh my god. It's I was like, you know what? That's okay. I'll just pet you. And I went back, and his name was Romeo. Oh, Romeo. And he was in Appaloosa. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I think he was over 17 hands. So he was a really tall, but he was beautiful. But they do sense our fear. And I learned so much too about myself that day, where I stood like as far as taking risk. So for sure.
that's good. You experience, and you face your fears too. You know, many times we don't approach certain things because of fear, like your fear of water, and then you never even go in the beach. You never put your feet in the water. But we need to face our fears many times.
Oh yeah.
That, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was just after that. I did not get on a horse that was that tall. It was a little bit shorter, but yeah, it was different because we got the experience at one time. We're able to like measure ourselves and then worked on it, and then the next time it was different. You know. Mhm.
That's good. Good.
I was gonna say that since it happens also when we are starting, or when we start in spiritism, because we don't know too much in the beginning, or you have no experience, or you have not read things yet, and then you were not really sure of the things that happen. Like, you don't know if you have the faith, right? You don't believe in things, but then you start having the experiences with other people, and you read, and you you watch people lectures, and then you start thinking, wow, I can do that. I can, this is not impossible. I can start doing things that I didn't know that I was capable of. And
Yes.
so you start believing in yourself. So this is
Mhm.
very important for everything, right?
Yes,
Sure.
very, very true. Very, very true. The power of faith,
You're uh-huh.
it's so strong. And many times we connect or we believe in things that we see. We become the Saint Thomas of Spiritism. And another thing that I always say is that if people could also see when they give the healing passes, if they could see the energy that comes out of their hands and connect with the enlightenment, with the enlightened spirits, it's so beautiful. But of course, most of the time we cannot see that, and sometimes we even doubt if what I'm doing is good, or the person receiving needs to trust, needs to believe they are receiving, although they also constructed this cemented wall. So the faith is so important in many, many things connected to healing, to spiritual treatment. Faith is everything, because for example, the spiritual treatments. We are in one location and the people are in their homes. So they have to have this faith, this trust that they are receiving a treatment. So they donate their energy there for that time, for that period of 1 hour. They are there connected. Because if this doesn't happen, that's when the treatments they don't really occur. Sometimes the people are sending, but the person is
Not
blocking.
receiving.
Exactly, the person
Person
is
not
blocking.
open
So
to it.
exactly. So faith is so important, and when we talk, like when we bring to our time to connect with our time, the disciples of Jesus. We are the disciples of Jesus nowadays. We are the modern disciples. We still have all kinds of issues, all kinds of difficulties, and we also doubt ourselves. But there are those moments that we are well connected, and boom, those moments, it's like we can do miracles. We can
It's
do
true.
miracles. And and it always happens to me. Like, for example, many times when I am sick, I am the first to ask my son to give me passes. This is like automatic. But sometimes when my son is sick, I don't think. I like, ooh, I don't know what happened to my brain. Doesn't work. And then immediately I think, oh, what kind of medication? And then I start searching for the medication, and I start like, oh, what should I give? And again, and then I'm giving medication, and many times my son asks me, "Mama, can you give me a passy?" I'm like,
Oh,
yes, of course.
of course.
Like, how is that possible? That I didn't think about that. So it's like, my goodness, it's really like sometimes we are not connected, and we need someone to help us. And it's not the first time that I'm giving passes to my son, and through the prayer, I give the passes, and I am saying a prayer, and depending on whatever he's telling me, I'm praying and I'm asking for his body to be cleared from that, if he can expel this sick energy, this whatever. And sometimes I say, like, by the mouth, I say it, and most of the time I just finish and I say, so be it, and he runs to the bathroom. It's like, it's so immediate that sometimes I was even thinking he's faking, but no. The last time it happened was like months ago, and he was extremely sick, and was really feeling very bad, and he vomit, but in such a huge amount, was like a waterfall. And then you see it's not fake. This was really like was real, and it's a blessing, because as soon as it finished, he was like, I'm a new man, and he was like thanking me, and I'm like, no, we have to thank them, because I was a bad instrument, but thank God I was able to be an instrument today. And so it's like this. It's like this. We are constantly, as we say, we fall, but we have to stand up. We cannot remain down there. We have to come back and stand up and feel better. Hello, Matthew. Nice to hear you. Nice to see you here. Let us know if you have any comment, any questions, so we can all interact. And all of you that are watching, write something, because if you don't write, we don't know you were here. We don't know your name. I cannot visualize it. But what else can we complete? What else can we add? So many items here.
Well, about this, as we were talking, you were saying about the mustard. It's very little, and the mountains that they're not the real mountains, but there are sometimes so many problems that we are going through, that we face. Everyone goes through, problems, and
Yes.
sometimes you think that you never get over that problem.
Yes.
And if you really think hard, if your faith is strong enough, it just have to think about, oh my God, help me. And
Yes.
the help comes it's so fast, but it has to come from your heart.
Yes.
It has to come
Exactly.
from inside, because if you just say it without meaning, without feeling, that's what
Yes.
happened with the disciples. They were not so sure, because they had Jesus there, and well, I don't know, they were not so sure.
Yes.
It didn't come really from inside, but after that, after they started really their journey, because at that time with Jesus, they were just watching, they were with him, but what happens after his death, they really started working.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's almost like they are put to test. Like it's now or never. Come
Yeah.
on, you have to go. It is true.
And it has to come from inside, and then you start seeing, wow, I didn't e- how come I didn't see that thing, that I could do it. It was not impossible. I'm able to do that thing. And
Yes.
then you start thinking, well, am I intelligent, or I'm a strong? No, it's a strong power inside yourself, and all the help that you receive from the spirits,
Yes.
things
Yes,
happen.
exactly. Exactly. So let me see what Matthew wrote here. Do any of you know anything of whether diet plays a factor in developing spiritual mediumistic abilities? Well, it depends a lot. Why are you asking? It's because I confess I ate a lot of junk.
Oh, Matthew, you are so
So,
good.
Matthew, tell us what happened. You ate a lot of junk food, and now you were connected with the spirituality, like you think you're seeing spirits or something. Give us a little bit more context of why are you asking this. That's funny. But what our diet connects with our well-being. So when you eat well, when you eat a balanced diet, you feel good. You don't feel like super heavy, like you ate a gigantic meal. Yes, it was delicious, but when it finishes, you're like, oh, why did I eat so much? I feel so bad. Or when something very greasy, so this makes your physical body to feel good. And, yes, it can be connected with the spiritual body. One thing that I tell you is that when we are going to participate of a mediumistic meeting, or when we are going to be participating of a healing treatment, a spiritual healing treatment, where we are going to be donating energy to others, we have to, for 48 hours not to eat red meat, to drink alcohol, to have sex, to have a discussion like a fight, to smoke if the person still has some kind of bad habits for 48 hours prior to the meeting. This person has to give up that, because if the person don't give up, the spirits tell us that, for example, if you eat a feijoada, Brazilian black beans with a lot of pieces of pork, it's a very, very heavy meal. And then the physical body, the cells are breaking the meal, are working super hard to break this food to be able your digestion to happen. And the spirit saying, if your physical body is working so hard, it's very difficult for your physical body to help your spiritual body to be donating energy, because you need energy. You need to put yourselves to work harder. That's why they tell us to eat white meat, to eat something light, to
Milk.
not have alcohol. So you can be like, your physical body is really like stable. So your spiritual body can be donating energy, not receiving. So this is one thing that I can tell you for sure. But so continue. So Honora, what else can
Um,
we say?
sure. As we're talking about faith, it reminds me of a conversation I was having yesterday. As some of you know, I go to part of an organization that are receiving brothers and sisters that are coming in from mostly Central America as refugees and so forth. So I'm at the bus station, and I talked to. Yesterday was a more a group of women, which was really, it's very different. Every time we go, it's a different group, and they all have a different vibration. And these women were so faithful, and they're talking about their stories, where literally they just pick up from their country and they come all the way over here through Mexico, and they're sitting there waiting, and they're talking about their faith. They're like, I'm having faith. And then they cross over and they're at the detention center, and then they're sharing their stories, or this and it was cold, it was dark, and I was missing everything. It's so unfamiliar of the unknown. But there I am. They're sharing the story right at 1 a.m. praying, praying. And believe it or not, by this morning they processed me, and here I am. And I was telling, because I've heard so many stories. I said, how can our faith not grow being in this place, in this bus station? Because every story is like, and I'm
Yes.
going to use the word miracle as an analogy, right? Because it truly is like, we see that light, and it's so many stories there that I come back like, I'm in my car, like, I don't know if I want to cry. Do I laugh, do I smile, do I yell, do I scream? So emotional. But it's always about that faith. And my gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
it reminded me so much, because they come with nothing, literally. And even
Yes.
when they're crashing, nothing. It's not about anything. And I think that's why he's saying, the mustard seed is so
Mhm.
little. You don't need
You don't
all
need too much.
these. Yeah, and I've been
Yeah.
so much with them. Unbelievable. So
Yeah. No, it's true. When we listen to other people's stories, we start like rethinking our lives and saying, "Wow, I complained for so little," and then you see someone that will have to start from zero. They have zero. They don't have a house to live. They don't even have clothes besides the little things they are carrying with them, and they are going into the unknown. But there are so many reasons. But whatever they were living there was so bad that they decided to abandon everything and try a new life in a possible better environment. Possible, because we know everywhere there are problems. Will be
Right.
different problems, but they might get more help and less danger than whatever they were living. But yes, any of these drastic changes, you need to have a lot of faith, because it's very hard. It's very hard. You don't know what you're going to be facing, and you start thinking everything you left behind. You miss your friends, your family members, people that couldn't come with you. It's very hard. So you need to have faith into everything, all these new things. But it's always a learning thing for us, because we have a tendency of complaining of little things. And then when we see those examples, and you're like, wow, yes, I am so lucky, or I have to be so grateful for whatever I have. And then you start appreciating more what you have. Instead of complaining more, you appreciate more. And knowing that we are still in a planet of trials and atonements. Regeneration is not here yet. It's starting. And we know the starting process of regeneration is very difficult. We are seeing all the changes, all the transformations the planet is going through, and we are going through it too. We need to have a lot of faith to be able to, when we reincarnate again, then with regeneration will be a little bit more advanced, and we will feel like, whew, now it's a little bit better. Maybe it's a little bit better. So
I was thinking now, when I'm sure that happens with you guys. Sometimes a friend of yours, or sometimes yourself, you are talking to a friend and you're going through some problems, and you mentioned to your friend and you said, please help me, pray for me. And there are people that they love to ask the other people to pray for them, but that's nice, if you have many people praying and sending energy to you, but you have also to start believing that you can do something for yourself.
yes, exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
because it's like the posse.
Yes.
If you're there and you don't do anything, and if your mind is somewhere else,
Yes.
you don't receive the energy as you're supposed to.
Exactly. And this is very important, because, you know, um, we all that go to different places, different spiritist centers, there is always people that come, oh, I'm going through this, and this. Can you pray for me? It's so
Mhm.
important that you pray for me, because you will help me. It's
Yeah.
almost that this person is telling you that you are special, you have
Right.
superpowers.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, this person is almost removing that burden from him or her and giving to you.
Depositing
Okay, now,
you.
Claudia, Nora,
Hmm.
if you don't pray for me, that's your problem. Because you have to help me. So it's very hard. But that's exactly why we have to say, yes, I can
I
pray
pray.
with you. I
That's
can
right.
pray with you. And then you say, I go to a place where they pray this day and this time. Would you commit to pray with me? I will be happy to be doing with
Hmm.
you. And then we can explain exactly like the passage. A person is receiving the energy. But if the person is exactly like you said, Claudine, the person is sitting there, okay, I have to get out of here, go to the shopping center, and then I have to drop this, I have to do that. The person is just sitting there physically,
Yeah.
but their head is all over.
Yeah.
Even in that
And the
few
problem is
minutes.
your problem.
Exactly. Even in that super fast moment that the person is just giving the energy, instead of a person sitting there and saying, God,
Connects.
I'm here. I have a difficult time to focus, but I would like to ask for your help. I'm going through difficulties, but I am also thankful for whatever I have. That's what we always tell people, to always start thanking, because people always like to start asking for help. Oh, help me because of blah blah blah. And then most of people forget to be thankful for whatever, thankful for having a body in this life. So that's a two-way thing. We have to be really that present in that few minutes. So next time someone comes to you asking for prayers, we can immediately say, yes, but you have to participate. It's very important that you participate. So in Mia InnerLight, we pray every Tuesday at 8:30 at night. But there are so many places they pray. There are people praying online every day, 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter where. But then this person will feel the need that she also needs to be there, giving their own energy. Although, what happened? We need to go to the other book, but I just like to mention one case, one story of the Bible, one story of Jesus, when the Roman, he was not a soldier, he was like a captain. I don't remember what was his title, but he was a little bit higher rank. He comes and he talks to Jesus, and he says, Master, could you please cure my servant? He's not asking for any family member. He's asking for his servant that was extremely sick, and he loved his servant as a son. And he tells Jesus, and Jesus said, okay, let's go to your house. And then he stops Jesus. No, no, master, you don't need to go to my house. I believe that you just say and it will happen. And Jesus gets so surprised with the strength of the faith of that man, because until that moment nobody did that. Everybody, come to the house with me, let's go running. And this Roman soldier, he was not a Hebrew, he was a Roman. So he did not believe in one God only. You know, the Romans, as the Greeks, they had many gods. So this one, he was already like understanding the message. His wake up call arrived. And then that's what Jesus tell the disciples. If all of you had 1/3, a little bit of the faith this man has, things would be moving so much faster. Of course, it was not with these words, but this is the meaning.
Right.
And everybody gets surprised, and suddenly people come and just tells him, you are not going to believe. He sit down. He's feeling better. And he starts crying, knowing that was Jesus. So this was like so strong for me. Every time I watch that movie, Jesus of Nazareth, that's the movie I love the most. And this scene comes, I'm like, oh my God, and I cry. And it's like the faith of that Roman soldier was like extremely powerful, so beautiful. Very good. So let me see what Matthew said here before we change books. It's because I try to meditate every day and have been quite regularly. And I'm wondering if my junky diet slows down my enlightenment process. Well, Matthew, exactly like I told you, if you eat bad, your body will be doing bad and your spirit will be struggling. So definitely you have to improve your diet, eating hamburgers, hot dogs, french fries every day. This is a very bad diet. And not just for your spirit, but for your cholesterol, for
You're
your
not taking care of your body.
Exactly. You're still very young. You are not feeling the consequences. But when you reach 50, you will understand. And yes, the spirits, the enlightened spirits, as I just mentioned, they can't reach to you, even to give you good ideas when your whole body is in turmoil with the bad food. So try to improve a little bit more your diet. Junky food is delicious, but try once a week. Try really to have vegetables, try to have whole wheat rice, whole wheat pasta, no red meats, and you will see things are going to start getting much, 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 much better in your spirituality too. You will be getting answers from your meditation. So, my friends, we have to go in our second book. So, our second book is this one that I really, really like. So, what is Spiritism? Very small book. We are reaching to half of it, and we analyze a little bit every time. So today we are going to be reading this little piece here. Let me put the girls back. We are going to be reading a little piece, and then we comment, and then feel free to ask questions, and we can all go through it and understand it. So I'm going to start reading. So this is the portion that the visitor is talking to Kardec, aka Allan Kardec. So the visitor basically asks, seems simple enough. They are talking about mediumship connections. And then he says, would it be possible for me to try it out myself? He's telling Kardec, can I connect with the spirits alone by myself? Like, can I try to talk to the spirits? And then Kardec answers, certainly. If you have been endowed with mediumistic faculty, it would be the best way to convince you because you couldn't doubt your own good faith. So, just for us to have an understanding of the concept here, this person, besides not believing in mediumship, did not believe in the spirituality, did not believe that Kardec is really able to talk to the spirits. So he, in the previous question, the one we did last week, this person does not believe and is basically asking Kardec, so can I talk to the spirits? Because then I would believe. And then Kardec says, if you have been endowed with a mediumship, because it's not every person that just says, hey, I want to talk to the spirits, and start talking to the spirit like 1, 2, 3, hey! It's not like that. Yes, we always say that we are all mediums. Yes, we are all mediums, but different degrees, different degrees. And the majority of the people, they have a type of mediumship. They have an inspiration. They have ideas coming up to their mind, but there's not a mediumship that they can see spirits and talk to them. So Kardec is trying to explain this to them and saying that that would be wonderful because then you would believe it because you would believe in yourself. And then he continues, but I urge you to study it carefully. So he's telling him you have to study mediumship so you can understand it. Communications from beyond the grave are not exempt from pitfalls or even danger for those who lack the necessary experience. It is like someone who would like to experience with chemicals without knowing chemistry. The person could run the risks of burning his or her fingers. So this is true. This is true because a person that does not understand anything about mediumship, but wants to be talking to the spirits, and then who knows, maybe they have a mediumship, but they never really did that, and they start evoking spirits, they start asking, they want to see, they want to do whatever, they might be able to get connected because they might be ostensive spirits and they didn't even know. But then, what kind of spirits they're gonna be attracting? So a person that is doing this just for curiosity will be attracting spirits that are into fun, into playing games, into like, let's play with this person. So that's what Kardec said. It can be dangerous because then you can attract the spirits that are not very friendly. They are not evil, but they will be pranksters. So they will be happy to appear like, woo. And then you would be like trapped, because then you are going to be afraid. You are not even going to know how to be able to deal with the situation. So in any case, in the time of Kardec and in our time right now, yes, Kardec said go to study first, and then you can see what can be done. So we are moving to the second question. The answer is longer, so we will try to see if we can answer this one here. So I will read, and then we can comment. So the question is there any sign by which one can recognize this aptitude, this type of characteristic, like the mediumship? Kardec says, so far, we don't have any diagnosis for mediumship. So in that time, they couldn't really say for certain aspects, you are a medium and you are not a medium. Even nowadays, it's very difficult because people tell us stories and we can say it might be mediumship, but it might not be. Some persons, they are not ostensive mediums. This was one situation with one spirit that was a family member, but it doesn't mean that that person will be constantly in connection with the spirit. So it might be or not. So Kardec says experimentation is the only way to know if it is the only way to know. Medium are very numerous. Men and women, children and the elderly, as well as individuals who are well and those who are sick may be mediums. So mediums are everywhere, from any religion, any class, everywhere. So, Claudinha, can you read for us this portion?
From its physical?
Yes.
Its physical cause lies in how easily the pure spiritual fluids of the incarnate and disincarnate spirits are assimilated. Its moral cause lies in the will of the spirit, who communicates when it wants to, and not in our own will. From this, we may conclude that, first, not all spirits can communicate indiscriminately, indiscriminately through all mediums, and that, second, all mediums are capable of losing or having their faculties suspended when they least expect it.
Very good. So what did you understand? It's for all of you that are watching us. If you have questions, if you would like to mention something that you understood, please go ahead. So what can we talk about that?
Well, for your connection, for your connection with the other spirit, how can I explain it? It all it depends on your moral
yes, your moral connection. Yes.
If
yes.
if you're doing if you're a person that think good things and have good habits and have good thoughts, and you are always trying to be better and read and do good things, you're going to be connected with a high or a good spirits. If you're
Yes.
not,
Yes.
the contrary, you are not going to be connected with the high spirits. You're going to be connected with the bad ones. And when it says here, from the way we may conclude that, first, not all spirits can communicate indiscriminately through all mediums. Not because of the connections, and because if you're not developed, or you're not
exactly. For example, the the first one, the physical cause, it depends a lot of the physical conditions of the medium, how they are going to connect physically, the energy, the physical energy of the spirit and of the spirit. They need to have like, they need to be in tuned to be able to pass the message. And the moral cause, yes, if it is a bad medium, if it's a person that is just can care less about improving morally, the spirits that will come will be spirits that are
the
not
same.
the best.
Yeah.
And the enlightened spirit will have a very hard time to connect. It's possible, but it's a lot of work. And it's not something easy. And that's what you mentioned here. The spirits can communicate indiscriminately through all mediums. From this you can conclude that first, not all the spirits can communicate indiscriminately. So it's not easy to any spirits to communicate. And second, it's not easy for the mediums to receive the message. And depending on whatever this medium is doing with the mediumship,
they can
the
be
mediumship
suspended.
might be suspended. Yeah, you are doing so bad that you're not gonna do anymore. Let's
if
go.
you are charging, if you're making money of your abilities, or it's all, it's
exactly. That's why
yeah.
people say, oh, you have to go to that tarot woman. She's a medium. She's amazing. She might have been the beginning, but she might have lost her abilities because she changed her morality. She wants more money, and she doesn't do any good things. I'm saying this to a person that is not a spiritist, because if the person is a spiritist, immediately knows couldn't charge. But there are people who charge because they don't understand, and they might be able to do it in good faith with good spirits, but throughout their life, yes, it can change to the worse. So let's continue here. Nora, could you read this for us, please?
Sure. It's a mistake to think that any spirit whatsoever can come when called and communicate at hand. For a spirit to communicate, first, it must agree to do so. Second, its position or activities must allow it to. And third, it must find the medium to be a suitable instrument, adequate to its nature.
Very good. So here we understand there are many things involved. It's not just like the spirit wants to communicate, or the medium wants to receive, and it can just happen. We know it's not like that. We also know after you go into, let me put us like this, after you participate in a mediumistic meeting for quite some time, you start understanding your mediumship characteristics. So you start understanding with what type of spirits you attune, what kind of message you can give. I have to tell my experience. I have many experience, many. But one was very funny. I usually give passivity to very hardened spirits, very difficult ones, very angry spirits, and then they come in full power, and it's very tough. But usually at the end of the meeting, I am also able to give a passivity to very enlightened spirits who give us beautiful messages, and make us to feel enlightened. So this is just to show that a medium can be very flexible, but there is the characteristic of my personality to be loud, and they attune with that. I have a friend who is very shy, very quiet person, and he gave passivity to a spirit that was a tough spirit. But it was very funny because he was like very quiet, and suddenly he said, I am very angry right now. And and we were all like,
Very.
what? And then the spirit continue. I'm very angry because this happened in my life, and I was just like, I was having a hard time to maintain my energy good because I wanted to laugh, because I remember, my God, if this spirit came through me, I would
Break
never
the
be like
table.
this. I am very angry right now. Never. I want to be like very. Of course, I am a controlled medium. I'm not gonna turn
Of
tables. I'm not
course,
gonna
yeah.
make any this. But my voice demonstrates the anger. But the character. That's why we say that. In the beginning, when mediums start, it's very difficult because you never know when it's you and when it's the spirit. In the beginning, you always think it's animism. Animism is when the person, the medium, is saying things that are from himself, not from the spirit. So this is what happens to all mediums in the beginning. They start like, oh, this is my imagination. Did I say that? Did I do da 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 da? But with the time, you start understanding. You start like understanding the ideas that start coming, and the things you start saying, like where these ideas come from. It from nowhere. Yes, it came from somewhere, not from yourself.
Mhm.
So it's good that experience helps a lot. Experience helps the mediums to understand, and but the personal characteristics will be always there. And my loud characteristic, yes, is always there. I
I
wish
just
we could
wanted to say
continue.
one thing, just my takeaway, if it's okay to share with all this,
Sure.
is I think that the we don't, those spirits, they're a soul, they're a child of God, so we don't play around with them. We also have to be very conscious of them,
Sure.
right? To and in a lot of Andre Luis books, I know it's a different dimension, but we can extract the way that they communicate with other entities, and that it's so different. And one of the books, I can't remember which one it was, but they were descending and they were trying to go somewhere, and in between those, from dimension to dimension, or from a post to a post, they came across so many spirits, and Andre's like, oh, I want to help them, oh, I want to communicate with them. And then his mentor was like, no, that's not
Yeah.
what we're here for. Let's respect, like, they're doing their own thing, their own processing, and
Yeah.
they have a self-esteem too, they have their own situation. So that's one of the takeaways from this. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
No, it
I
is. It
apologize
is true.
for all the
It
time
is
to have
true.
it.
That's why when we participate, we have to be very conscious of our thoughts, because our thoughts can really make the connection of another medium weaken. Because if you are not like donating love and trying to help, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So this day I remember trying to focus, because I couldn't stop thinking like, my God, is he really angry? Because my friend was so calm. And then I'm like, wow, this is a lesson to learn. His
Mhm.
personality is so strong that he calms the whole spirit. And
Mhm.
very different. It's a total different Angela right there. Very good, my friends. The time is gone. We will continue from the middle of this lesson next week. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I would like to ask all of you right now to do your best to really close your eyes, to really concentrate with the prayer, because this prayer is not going to be a normal prayer just for us, but it's a prayer for all our brothers and sisters who are in a very difficult situation. If they are discarnated, they are recently discarnated, they are in the state of confusion, and the spirituality is right there helping them. And also all the family members, all the neighbors, the people that live in the next door building. We are talking about the tragedy that happened here in Florida, in the location called Surfside. It's north of Miami, it's far from where I live, but we need to share our love and a little bit of our good vibrations. So, my friends, let's all close our eyes. Let's try at this moment to connect with the spirituality. Let's ask our Divine Master Jesus to help us to be able to make this beautiful chain of love where me, Nora, Claudinha, all our friends who are watching us at this moment, we will be connected with all the other friends who mentioned they would be connected at 10 o'clock, praying for all those people in Surfside, Miami, who are going through such a turmoil, such a difficult time. The ones that are still incarnated are going through so much pain, searching for their loved ones, so much uncertainty, not knowing if they are alive, if they will be rescued or not. And to the already discarnated ones who are in this moment of turbulence, not understanding what's going on, we would like to send our good vibrations. We would like to extend our loving energies to all of them. At this moment, we ask the doctors, the nurses, the good spirits that protect and guard Mia InnerLight, and also Kardec Radio, if they could approach us, take our good vibrations, be able to make this a chain of love, and bring these good vibrations to all of them, to distribute this love in a way of healing, in a way of connecting them with the higher spirituality, so they can feel better, they can feel calmer, they can understand that nothing happens by a chance. This is a tragedy, this is very painful, but somehow it had to happen. Somehow it's connected to their past. And we know one day we will all discarnate. We will all die and cross to the other side. Death is never something good or pleasant for us who are here on earth. It's something very difficult that we have a hard time to deal with. But in spirituality, it's something normal. It's just a passage. It's like a bus that you take, you start in one point, and you reach to your final destination, and it's the spirituality. So understanding this a little bit better, we would like to ask the enlightened spirits to help all of them, to help all of us too, so we can continue vibrating love, positive thoughts. We can do our best to help them, even if with some kind of a donation, physical donation, material donation, but also with our spiritual energy, our love for healing and for help, all the ones that need. And please, Master Jesus, help us to continue our movement of improvement. Help us to continue working on our morality and our goodness, so we can be a better person tomorrow. And we can continue this movement of improvement throughout our reincarnation. And please help us to continue studying and coming back here in Kardec Radio to continue our studies of Spiritism, understanding that like this, we will be a better person. Thank you so much. So be it. So, my friends, thank you so much, all of you, for being here with us. Thank you to the
Thank
ones
you.
that are participating. And I hope tonight, when we go to sleep, we will be able to continue our work, because we might be requested to help them. Maybe we don't know a lot what we could do, but maybe we could be transported to the site to offer our help, even if just to talk to the discarnated people and help them, calm them, trying to explain that this will happen to all of us. Who knows? Who
That's
knows
why
what we
it's
can
not
do?
so good to eat so much junk food. Because if we go to sleep, it's going to be hard for us to sleep.
Exactly.
And
You see, Matthew, you're listening?
yes,
That's totally true. And that's why it's also good when we can have dinner earlier. I know a lot of people like to have dinner at 9, 10 o'clock, but that's not good. That's not good. Let's try to have dinner 6, 7 o'clock, 8 maximum. Very good, my friends. Have a great night. Thank you for everything. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you,
thank you.
Claudinha. Thank you,
Thank you.
Nora. See you all
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.